Transport is the movement of people and goods from one place to another. An efficient transport network is essential for economic development. It connects markets, enables the movement of agricultural produce from farm to city, facilitates industrialization, promotes national unity, and supports education and healthcare delivery. Nigeria transport network consists of roads, railways, waterways, air transport, and pipelines. Each mode has its strengths and challenges. Roads are the most important and most used mode of transport in Nigeria. Nigeria has the largest road network in West Africa, estimated at about 200,000 kilometers of roads, though only about 60,000 kilometers are paved. Road transport handles about 90% of passenger and freight movement in the country. Key interstate highways include the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, recently dualed and expanded, which is one of the busiest roads in Africa, the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway, the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, and the East-West Road connecting Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River states through the Niger Delta. Challenges with road transport include poor road maintenance leading to potholes and dangerous conditions, heavy traffic congestion especially in Lagos, high rates of road accidents. Nigeria has one of the highest road fatality rates in the world, high fuel costs for haulage, and inadequate road capacity in many areas. The Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FAMA, is responsible for maintaining federal roads but faces severe funding shortfalls. Nigeria railway system was built during the colonial era primarily to move agricultural products from the interior to the coast. Two main standard gauge railway lines were constructed, the Western Line from Lagos through Ibadan, Ilorin, Kaduna, to Kano, and the Eastern Line from Port Harcourt through Enugu, Makurdi, to Kofanchon, where it joins the Western Line. At independence, the railway was handling significant freight and passenger traffic. However, the Nigerian Railway Corporation fell into severe decline after the 1970s oil boom redirected investment to roads. By the 2000s, most tracks were in disrepair and services had virtually collapsed. A major revival program has been underway since the 2010s. The federal government contracted Chinese companies, mainly China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, SEC, to build new standard gauge railway lines. The Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge railway opened in 2021 and has been carrying thousands of passengers daily. The Abuja-Kaduna standard gauge railway opened in 2016. Other lines under construction include the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri line and the Lagos-Kano main line. However, the Abuja-Kaduna line suffered a deadly terrorist attack in March 2022 in which passengers were killed and many kidnapped, highlighting security challenges. Nigeria has an extensive network of navigable waterways. The Niger River and Benue River, together with the Niger Delta creeks and the coastal lagoons, provide about 3,000 kilometers of navigable inland waterways. Before the colonial road and railway network was built, rivers were the primary transport arteries. Canoes and small motorboats remain important for reaching communities in the Niger Delta and other riverine areas that have limited road access. The National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, is responsible for developing and maintaining inland waterways. Major river ports include Lokoja at the Niger-Benue Confluence, Onitsha on the Niger, and Bero in Niger State. The most important water transport for international trade is ocean shipping through Nigeria seaports. Apapa Port and Tin Can Island Port in Lagos handle the largest volume of cargo. They process the majority of Nigeria imports and exports. Port Harcourt Port serves the oil industry and southeastern trade. The ports have historically suffered from severe congestion, inefficiency, and corruption, though concession to private terminal operators has improved performance in some areas. Nigeria has an extensive domestic and international air transport network. There are about 26 airports across the country, of which 6 are international: Murtala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, Malam Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano, Port Harcourt International Airport, Akano Ibiam International Airport in Enugu, and Calabar International Airport. Murtala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos is the busiest in Nigeria and one of the busiest in Africa, handling millions of passengers per year. Several international airlines serve Nigeria routes, including Ethiopian Airlines, Lufthansa, British Airways, Turkish Airlines, Air France-KLM, and Emirates. Nigerian domestic airlines include Air Peace, which is the largest domestic carrier. The aviation sector faces challenges including high aviation fuel prices, inadequate maintenance facilities, and aging airport infrastructure. A new Abuja terminal was recently completed. Nigeria has an extensive petroleum pipeline network. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, operates a network of crude oil pipelines connecting oil fields in the Niger Delta to coastal export terminals and refineries, and product pipelines connecting refineries to storage depots across the country. However, the pipeline network has suffered from vandalism, theft, cold bunkering, and years of poor maintenance, leading to frequent disruptions. Gas pipelines transport natural gas from the Niger Delta to power plants and the NLNG terminal at Bonny. The West African Gas Pipeline transports Nigerian gas to Benin Republic, Togo, and Ghana. Transport is vital for development. An efficient transport network reduces the cost of goods, connects rural farmers to markets, enables national integration, promotes trade between regions, and attracts investment. The transport deficits in Nigeria, especially poor roads in the northeast and middle belt, the collapsed railway, and congested ports, are among the most significant obstacles to economic growth. Nigeria transport network consists of roads, which carry 90% of traffic but are poorly maintained, railways, which collapsed after independence but are being revived with Chinese-built standard gauge lines, waterways, with 3,000 kilometers of navigable rivers and major seaports at Lagos and Port Harcourt, air transport, with 6 international airports and domestic carriers like Air Peace, and petroleum pipelines, which face vandalism and maintenance problems. An efficient transport system is fundamental to Nigeria's economic development, food security, and national unity.